Hi, everyone. Welcome to Social and Cultural Foundations of Education. My name is Ann Martin, and I am going to be the instructor this summer. So this is the week 1 lecture, and the purpose of this lecture is to give you an introduction to the course, go through everything that you need to know, and then talk a little bit about the first module in the readings. So we're going to start off with a review of the syllabus, go through a tour of iCollege and where you can find all the course materials. I'm going to be talking about each of the assignments that you'll be completing this summer course and everything you need to know for that. Then we're going to talk about the first module. I'm going to share with you the readings that you'll be doing this week and then leave you with a weekly checklist. So let's go into a review of this. Okay, here is the syllabus and it is available for you on iCollege. So here is my contact information. If you have any questions or need to get a hold of me, here's my email address. And for office hours, I will be offering optional Zoom sessions. The first one will be June 15th. I'll note that on the announcement tab. So if you want to meet with me on Zoom, you could stay after those sessions or schedule an appointment with me on Zoom, and I'm more than happy to meet with you. So the purpose of this course is to interrogate some of the social and cultural foundations in education, both the historical and the contemporaneous issues that impact education. And we are particularly going to be looking at the historic, systemic, institutionalized forms of oppression that impact students and people in all vantage points in education, really focusing on how race plays a role both in and outside of schools. So I encourage you to read through the course objectives here to familiarize yourself with the purpose of the course. So all of the readings and assignments are geared at exploring these topics. Of course, we are not able to cover everything that makes up the social and cultural foundations of education. So you are going to get a chance to discuss a topic of your choice. I'll talk a little bit about that on the assignment overview. So here on the second page of the syllabus, you can see the course policies, the academic honesty from the university policies, also how to request accommodations and instructor materials. So here you can see the required textbooks and materials. So the required textbook is available on Georgia State's library through your library fee. So you can access it with a library account that you've already paid for. I've also uploaded it to Perusal, so you can click on the textbook there, but here is where you find the textbook. And we're also going to be watching a documentary, and it is available for rent on YouTube for $3. So those are the two required textbooks and materials. And then there's going to be a lot of articles. All of the articles are available through your library account. They're from academic journals that you have already paid for with your library fees, and those are uploaded to Perusal. They're also listed on the syllabus if you want to download them yourself and have a copy for yourself. Now, here are some recommended books. If you are interested in some of the particular topics that we read, we are going to be reading a chapter from this first text this week. And I've chosen articles written by these authors, but if you're interested in the topic, you should consider getting some of these books to add to your collection. So here are the course assignments, and I'm going to do a detailed review of each of these assignments, but the course is out of 100 points. So 20 points are going to come from reflection papers. Those are each worth 10 points each. Here are the due dates. The next 15 points is going to come from being a discussion leader, creating a video presentation, discussion questions. That's worth 15 points. Then the bulk of your points are going to come from your readings, discussions, and participation. So that is worth a total of 40 points. Each assignment that is in Perusal is worth 4 points each. Now, there are 12 opportunities to earn 4 points each, and I'm going to be grading 10. So the summer course does move very quickly. And I know that you may have an emergency come up or something happens to where you're not able to fully engage with one of the assignments. So that's why I'm going to be just grading the top 10. So there's 12 opportunities, taking the top 10 scores. And those readings assignments are due on Wednesdays and Sundays of each week. And they're, of course, noted in iCollege and in Perusal. And then the next largest section of points is going to come from your final presentation and paper, which is worth 25 points. And this is where you get a chance to interrogate the course topics with something that you're interested in or along the lines of what you are studying. Here is the grading scale. And here is the course schedule. So you can see each week the topic and the dates. So here you can see week one, the engagements that you'll be doing. The 1 asterisk means that it is due the Wednesday of that week, and 2 means it's due Sunday. So for instance, your introduction, your reflection paper, and signing up to be a discussion leader, that is due the Wednesday of this week, or June 8th. And the perusal assignment number 1 is due Sunday, which is June 12th. So the first module is going to be Indigenous education. Module 2 is Black educational philosophies in the 1800s and early 1900s. Module 3 is desegregation and some of the landmark court cases. Module 4 is Asian American exclusion and school practices post-Brown versus Board of Education. Module 5 is about ability, language exclusion testing, and then reform era. And module 6 is race, space, and conceptions of poverty. And then the last module is our conclusion course summation, where you will do your presentations and your final paper. This is a note just as a reminder, and I'll remind you again about the importance of faculty and course evaluations to help us improve. And then the last section of the syllabus has assignment descriptions. And I'm going to go through each of these in detail, but here you can refer to this for details about the assignments, how many points there are, where to turn them in at, when they're due, and everything that you need for the course. Since this course is all asynchronous, you will be using iCollege throughout each week to complete all your assignments and find all of your readings. So on the homepage, you will see an announcement on one side and then the content navigator over here. So each week of the 7-week course, I'll post an announcement welcoming you to the week and giving you an overview of what we are going to be doing. So here you can see an overview of this week. Week 1 is introduction to the course and Indigenous education. So here you can see I've given you a list of the items that we are going to be doing now. Week 1, there are quite a few more things, but many of them are quite short. So every week there'll be an introductory lecture like this, going over the topics for the course. Now this week, so the first thing you'll do is watch this video. This week we are going to be doing reflection paper number 1. There'll be a link. We're going to be doing a class introduction. You'll sign up to be a discussion leader, be a sign-up genius, and then you will complete your first weekly reading on Perusal. So again, I'll always put my email address if you have any questions or want to schedule a meeting with me. And as I mentioned, on the syllabus, we will be having optional Zoom discussions. So I'll post those so you can see when they are upcoming. So the first one is going to be Wednesday, June 15th at 3 p.m. Now these are optional. I'll talk a little bit more about those when I go over the course assignments. But if you are interested in participating in a Zoom discussion, but this time doesn't work for you, please let me know via email and I will try to come up with a time that works for more people. Okay, so this is what you'll see when you log into the course every week, an announcement going through what you need to do. So the main area where you will be navigating through is the content. So you can access that right here, content, or over on the right on the content navigator. I'd like to do here so I can see the whole view. So when you go through the content, you can see the modules over here. There's the introduction, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, and week 7. So all of the assignments and readings are embedded through here. So Here you can see the introduction. So here's the syllabus. So you can click there to view that PDF document. You can download that if you want to save it. Here is the reflection paper number 1 that you're going to be doing this week. Here is the class introductions and your discussion leader video presentation. Now, I did bookmark these 2 items. These are items that you're going to be using throughout the course, especially these video leader presentations, so that is there. Now, for week 1, you are going to be in the introduction. These are the items that you're going to be doing by Wednesday of this week. And then in number 1, you have Indigenous education, Indian removal, and boarding schools. So these take you to perusal where you can complete the readings and do the assignments. So I'll talk a little bit more about that when I go through the different course assignments. So here you can see those. Now, if you go to assessments, you can see the 2 different discussion topics that we're going to have. I'll talk about that, but those are all embedded throughout the content. So I would just go to this content view right here to go through each week. And then the home page where you will have the the announcement. So next I'm going to talk about the different assignments you're going to be completing during this semester. So next I want to talk about the different assignments that you're going to be completing throughout the course. The first is your reflection papers. You're going to do 2 of those throughout the summer term. Each one is worth 10 points, so a total of 20 points each. Now, the purpose of these reflection papers is for you to think about different social and cultural aspects, contexts of education that have impacted you and your reaction to them. They're short, just 300 to 500 words, half a page to a full page, so not too long. The first one is due this week. It is sort of your pre-reflection before you engage with the course materials. So for your first reflection paper, I would like you to briefly discuss the social and cultural context of education that most profoundly have shaped your educational experience or continue to shape your educational experience. And if you're stuck on that, refer to the first page of the syllabus to read the description of some different aspects that contribute to social and cultural context of education. So that is reflection paper number 1. It is due June 8th. The next one is due at the midpoint of the semester, June 29th, and that one also short, 300 to 500 words. At that point, you're going to briefly discuss how the course readings and materials thus far have impacted your view on education. So this could consider your educational experience. You could go back to what you wrote for reflection paper number 1 and talk about that, or you could talk about education writ large. Now, both of these will be uploaded to iCollege. They're already embedded in the content for you, and you will click there. The next assignment is to be a discussion leader for one of our discussions. So each week there will be 2 discussions, and you will be the discussion leader for one of them, and that is worth 15 points. And really, it's closer to 20 because you will definitely get the participation points for that week because you will be deeply engaged with that week's readings. So this is due 48 hours before the discussion ends, and I'll show you where you can see the dates for that. So when you're the discussion leader, you are going to do 3 things. The first thing is you are going to create a short 5 to 8 minute video presentation about one of the supplemental readings from the topic, one of the main readings for the discussion, or you can even choose your own articles or relevant materials to include in your presentation. So when you do this video presentation, you can do it how I am with your video on talking, or if you have slides, you can just do voiceover. That is okay as well. And I'll show you where you're going to post those in iCollege in a moment. Now, you're also going to write 3 to 5 discussion questions and embed those within perusal about the readings and materials for that week. And again, you need to do that 2 hours before or 2 days before the discussion ends, so your classmates can engage with those discussion questions. And then when you're the discussion leader, you are going to be having a facilitation role. You're going to check in on perusal throughout the discussion period to help facilitate discussion and engage with your classmates. So I'm going to show you where to find this assignment in iCollege, how to sign up, and a couple examples. So here we are in iCollege. I'm in the content tab here. And under the introduction for week 1, you will see discussion leader video presentations. This is where you can find that assignment for discussion leader, or it's right here underneath bookmarks. So the first thing that you need to do is to sign up for the week that you want to be a discussion leader. And so here's a link to the Sign Up Genius to sign up for the discussion that you want to lead. So this is an example of the sign up. So here you can see the date. This is the date that the discussion is due. Remember, they're due 2 days before the discussion ends. So the first choice is Black Educational Philosophies in the 1800s. 3 people can sign up to discuss that topic. Now, this discussion, this assignment and perusal is due June 15th. So if you're the discussion leader, your discussion is due June 13th. So you can look through here. Here are the topics of the different discussion choices. There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 different choices. And again, there are 3 slots for each. So once it's full, you can choose a different one. Oh, I see several people have already signed up to be discussion leader. So when you are signing up to be discussion leader, think about the topics and then also the dates when it's going to work best for your schedule. Okay, so once you have signed up, this is where you're going to upload your video presentations. So if you view the topic, you will see I did an example of what one presentation could look like. So when it is your turn to be the discussion leader, you will start a new thread, title your thread with the title of the discussion, and then you can put a link or upload your video. So here is a video presentation that I did for this week's topic on Indigenous education. If you click the link, it will take you to the topic here. I'm not sharing sound, but you can go into iCollege and you can see this example. Now,
Hello,
mine
everyone.
is a little bit longer, but again, your video presentations can be about 5 to 8 minutes. So after you do the discussion leader, you will do your discussion question. Okay, the next assignment is your readings, discussion, and participation. And this is where the bulk of your points will come from. This will be a total of 40 points for the semester. So these are completed on perusal, and I'll show you how to find those links through iCollege. And they're due Wednesdays and Sundays. Again, reach out to me if you need an adjustment there. Now, there are 12 opportunities to participate in readings and discussions, and I'm going to be taking your 10 highest grades for those. So when you are getting your grade in perusal, I'm looking for quality annotations, and I'll show you in a moment how to make those. So you're going to be in groups of 10 students for the readings. So when you're doing your annotations, you can take private notes yourself if you want to highlight. You can download the text on your own and highlight. But when you're in perusal, you're going to put 4 to 6 annotations throughout the document. And so that's what I'm looking for, is those quality annotations and then the time that you spend on the text or watching the videos. So when you're thinking about those annotations or discussion ideas, here are some suggestions that you can use when you're engaging with the text in perusal. You could write a question that you have about the text, a question for the group that you thought of based on the ideas in the text. You might have a critique or a disagreement with something that the author is saying. I do want you to critically engage with these articles. So that is definitely going to happen, that you're going to have a critique of something that the author is saying, or they're going to be missing something, or have a perspective that is different from yours. So please do note that. You might notice a connection between texts, a connection to a current event. You can even put links there to an article or a video, something that it made you think of. It could be a connection to an experience that you had. It could be a realization that you have, a wondering and now what the implications of what we are reading about, or you could talk about an impact on a specific group. So those are just some ideas that you can include in your discussion as you are reading the text. Now, I'm more so looking for quality over quantity. So I know that when I'm reading, sometimes I can get very eager to want to highlight and make a lot of comments, but you can save those for your private notes, and then for the actual engagement with your classmates, focus on the ideas that you really want to discuss with your group members. Now, as I mentioned, I am going to be offering optional Zooms. So the first one is going to be Wednesday, June 15th. If there's a time that works better for other people, we might be adjusting that, but I'll announce those on the announcement page. So these are optional, but if you prefer to meet on Zoom together to do your discussion, you may do that. So if that is something that is appealing to you, you can come to the Zoom and you could earn your discussion points, 4 points out of 8 for the week, by attending and participating in the Zoom. So if you do that, you wouldn't need to do the annotations for that week. You will have, of course, already read the materials and come to the Zoom ready to discuss for the first assignment of the week. So the first opportunity to do this will be about the Black philosophers of education in the 1800s and early 1900s. So let me show you how to access perusal and add your annotations. So under your content tab, you will see the assignments for the week. So this is the perusal assignment for this week, Indigenous education in Indian boarding schools. So here I put the same assignment details and ideas. So once you click this link, it will take you to perusal and the readings for the week. Okay, so now I am in perusal and I can see the readings. So this week we have an article and a video. So here you can see chapter 2. I'm going to talk a little bit about these in a moment. And then if you click down here, it says click, there's one more part. And then there is a video that you will be able to watch in perusal. Now, as you are, sorry, this is chaotic. As you are reading, you can annotate the text. As I mentioned, I'm going to be looking at engaging with the text, your time on text that you spend reading the text, and then your quality annotations. So when you click over here, you will have your annotation buttons. If you want to make an annotation, you highlight, and then it will make you do a comment. So this week, since I'm being the discussion leader, I embedded my 3 discussion questions in here. So here you can see the first one, I highlighted the word primitive, and I wrote, what deficit terms and ideas are taught in many school curriculums? So as you are engaging with the text, you might answer a question, or you can put in your own comment. For instance, you might have a reaction here when you get to some of the Indigenous epistemologies. Okay, that took me back to the first one. But when you are going to put in a comment, let's say that you want to make a comment here about the importance of environment and the climate, you would highlight the text, and then it will pop up over here and you can write your comment over here. You do need to push return and then it will post the comment. So you can click the comments here and see those to respond. This is the current conversation through all the conversations. Now, like I mentioned, you can also take your own private notes. So I have some notes here that I have taken just as an example as I was reading. I've titled it the same title as the assignment name. to go with it. So that is how you do your annotations. Now, if you want more detail about how to annotate text and how to navigate perusal, I'm more than happy to do a video tutorial. There's also a lot of really good resources on the Georgia State website and on YouTube about how to use perusal. Now, when you click over here, you will see the assignments. So here's the library. These are all of the articles that are included in the assignments. Let me go to student view. Okay, so this is what it will look like as a student. So you have the library here with all of the articles for the course and then the assignments. So here is the first assignment. Again, you can get here from iCollege, just click on it. You click work on assignment. And you can read the materials and put in your annotations. Now for each module, I have uploaded some supplemental readings and materials. Those are optional. So if you're the discussion leader, you might want to consult the optional texts to use in your video presentation, or if you want to know more about the topic, or if the assigned readings were just maybe not giving you what you needed for that module, you can check out there to get some supplemental readings. Or if you are using it for your final project, you might want to look there. So I did go ahead and make all the assignments visible for you because it is summer, and like I mentioned, it does go quickly. I know that some of you might want to get ahead, particularly if you're discussion leaders, but here you can see the assignments and the due dates for those. So you'll just click work on assignment. They'll give you a little tour too as well about how to do it. And then you will go ahead and read your assignment, click to the other part if there is another one, and then you can navigate back to the course up here. Well, I guess over here to go back to the course. Okay, so then the last assignment is your final presentation and paper, and that's worth 25 points. So as I mentioned in this course, we are by no means covering all of the relevant and important topics. So the purpose of the special topics presentation and paper is for you to investigate a social cultural context of education that's of interest to you to augment the issues covered in this course. So for this project, you are going to build your expertise on a topic of your choice. You're going to review academic articles, books, scholar talks, policy documents, or media about the issue, along with course materials to help you develop this presentation and paper. So the presentation is going to be due July 20th, and that's going to be posted as a discussion on iCollege. That way you can view all of your classmates' presentations and you can share your work with the class as well. Again, it's going to be an 8 to 10 minute video presentation about the special topic that you considered and the relevant issues and the sources that you consulted. Again, voiceover slides is acceptable, or a video how I'm doing now. That will be due July 20th. And then for your final, it is going to be a paper about the same topic. It is going to be a 4 to 6 page paper discussing the key issues surrounding the special topic you considered. You're going to use evidence from 3 to 5 academic sources. You could also use course materials as well, or other relevant media sources to help you develop your topic. Now, here are some ideas for special topics. I'm sure you have a lot of other topics, better topics that you are thinking of doing. So when you're thinking about a topic, do start thinking about it now. This could be something in your specific area, something that you are considering, that you already work in this field, a research topic that you're already working on, something that is of interest to you, and really consider how the social and cultural foundations of education impact that issue. So you are going to turn in your proposed topic by July 7th, but here is a list of some special topics that you might want to do your presentation and paper on. One that I wish we had time that has just been, I'm sure, heavy on all of us, school shootings and the social and cultural context around school shootings. For instance, displacement is something that I study a lot. When you watch my introduction slide, you will see a little bit about that. So there's so many different topics and ideas that you could use when you are doing your presentation. So when you look at the bottom of contents, conclusion, course summation, you can see where you will post your video presentation here onto the discussion forum and where you will upload your paper. Here is a page if you want to see of assignment details for either one of those. Now, your proposed topic is going to be due July 7th, which falls under week 5. So here is where you will put your proposed topic for your final presentation. Now, this is not for a grade, but this is so I can give you feedback and suggestions and any resources that I might have, or just help you think about your topic. It's due, oh, I thought it was 7th. Okay, July 6th or 7th, I'll double check that. And so you can do that at any time. I did also bookmark that as well. That way, if you want to go ahead and enter that now, if you already know what your topic is, you can put it there. I can give you feedback and we can talk a little bit about it there. So those are the assignments for the course. Please let me know if you have any questions or want any more details about any of those assignments. Okay, so now that we have gone over the syllabus and iCollege and an overview of all of the different assignments you'll be doing this semester, let's move into the first topic for this week, which is Indigenous education. So the first reading comes from this text, To Remain an Indian. We're going to be reading chapter 2, The Strengths of an Indigenous Education, Overturning Myths about Indian Learners. And I did serve as the discussion leader for this, so you can check that out under the discussion forum to watch a video where I share some of my key takeaways and a little bit of information about that article. So first, we're going to be reading that article. Those I already showed you where the discussion questions are. You can read that on perusal. And then we are going to be watching a PBS documentary about Indian boarding schools. It's called Unspoken America's Native American Boarding Schools. So those are the 2 required readings for this week, and there are a few supplemental readings as well. The first one is from the same authors, a paper that was published in the AERA journal about how sovereignty and Indian education pertains to democracy and how we can all move towards more democratic ideals in education by fulfilling some of those promises and tenets of an Indigenous education. And then the second one is a PBS News report about a recent report about some of the treatment of students who did go to Indian boarding schools, who were forced to attend. Okay, so that concludes our lecture for this week. So here is your checklist of what you're going to be doing this week. Again, all those links are on the announcements page. So by Wednesday of this week, you will do your introduction via Google Slides. I guess I should talk a little bit about that. You'll do your introduction via Google Slides. You'll do your 300 to 500 word reflection paper. You'll sign up to be a discussion leader. And then by Sunday, you will do your perusal assignment number 1 about Indigenous education. So here you can see the points for each of these. The introduction does count for 4 points. So that is your weekly checklist. I did forget to go over this, so I will go back and go over that now. Okay, so the first discussion this week is going to be a class introduction where you are going to introduce yourself to the class, and you're going to create a Google slide about yourself to introduce yourself, and you can also comment on other slides to make a connection with them. So I'm here under content introduction, first one, class introductions. If you click this link, it will take you to a Google slide presentation. So here, oh, I'm so excited. Someone has already done theirs. I'm gonna see who that is and give them a special shout out. So here is mine. So you can see I put some pictures, some things I'm interested in, my research interests. I also uploaded a video. This is a little bit old. If I get a chance, I'll update that. So you can do this. I'm also gonna put a link if you need some tips on how to create a Google slide if you're not familiar. Special shout out, yay! Already did the Google slide. So that is what we are going to be doing. And you might also want to consider putting I'm going to add my email address here, your email address or whatever contact so your classmates can get in touch with you. So that was the week 1 lecture. I'm sure this is very long. Thank you so much for watching. In the future, hopefully the lectures won't be so long, but please do contact me if I can explain anything else or if you want details about any other readings or assignments. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.